Hello, welcome class. We're good to have you with us. We're grateful that you have joined our income tax accounting class this spring. We're good to have you, and we're looking forward to working with you. So I made this short video here to kind of point out where things are, make sure that you are familiar with how class is laid out and what to expect. Look at the syllabus briefly and see what we'll be looking forward to for the rest of our semester. So first of all, we're getting a late start. That's not your fault. It's just the way it's scheduled. Okay, but that is going to require us to be a little more compressed, a little more have weeks that we have to do 2 chapters in order to cover all of the topics we need to this semester before the end of the semester. So class is laid out. I put the things that are most important across the top: grades, Dropbox is how we're going to turn in homework, things like that. You need to check our progress. All right, on anything you can. All the content is here. That will allow you can send me an email. It's also there at the top. Okay, you won't see the edit course on your version. All right. Right in the middle is our news feed, if you will. That's where I will update what's happening every week at least, and maybe even more often than that. You'll see my ugly mug over here on the right with my information. Most importantly, my Zoom room, okay? Link to find office hours, that sort of thing. The calendar will be here down at the bottom, below my contact information. The content browser telling us where we're going, but I find that most people just use the content icon up here, not the content browser. And last down at the bottom is our textbook link and information for the Connect system that we're going to use to review our reading and also to get our TaxAct software. So we'll need to remember where that is as we get to that point. All right. So in the introductory module, in the content, our introduction module has critical things like the syllabus and an introduction discussion board where I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself. It's also got a place to ask questions for the class in general. Let's take a peek at the syllabus, see what important pieces of information are there. You see my office hours. You see the information about the course. This is online. There's no scheduled Zoom meeting, but if we have during office hours, I will be on Zoom at the link there, which is the same link as on the course page. Our catalog description, prerequisites, and our text. Note the ISBN I've given to you. We need the 2022 edition. It needs to have Connect, the access code, if you will, Fundamentals of Taxation. That you can link to it through the website and sign up for it there. Get through the bookstore. Any of those will give you the right thing. I don't think you'll get a different price either way, but it's easier to use financial aid if you go through the bookstore for the textbook. Even if you haven't bought, you have 2 weeks of access to the textbook while you figure out how to make sure you get it purchased for full access. That will be important for doing our homework and our tax returns and also doing our reading. There have been changes since 2021, the 2021 edition, so you will need the newest one. Our learning outcomes and our schedule of activities, everything broken down by week. what we're going to cover, what the dates are that we're going to do it. Okay, basically everything laid out by weeks. So your idea is we're going to have reading, chapter, sometimes 2 chapters a week. And then the Connect system has a review, and it's linked in your to that review, and it's going to ask you questions. When you get them right, it's going to move on to new sections. If you keep missing them, it's going to keep asking you questions about those same topics till you reach the point that you seem to have gotten them correct. I want to encourage you to use discussion boards. There will be a discussion board for just questions in every week, every learning module. Please ask there. That's expected. We want you to ask questions. That's how we learn. Would love to see other people answer them as well as myself, but I will jump in within 24 hours, and usually much sooner than that, but at least at that point to answer or respond to those questions. So we want you to do that. And use email for more personal things that are unique to your situation. So grading and things like that, you're going to do that review online. You can answer it as many times you get. By completing all of the questions, you get 10 points. It's not a matter of getting them right or wrong. It's a matter of completion. All right, for that, there's homework. You'll see which problems are being assigned from the textbook. When you go into the Dropbox, it will tell you which problem numbers to complete. You'll complete those, turn it in by Saturday, the answers. Once you have done that, you'll be able to see my answers, my version of it. Then you can make any corrections you need to make to your homework. And those corrections should be in a different color. They should be explained as to why you made those corrections. And then you put that back in the Dropbox by Monday. As long as you correct everything and put an explanation, you'll get the same score whether you got them all right or if you got some wrong and corrected them, it'll be the same. Okay? So the idea is we learn from our mistakes, we make corrections, how to improve our thinking, we make notes to ourselves as to how to do better next time, and that's how we learn. There is also a discussion each week that's graded. So I mentioned the discussion board that is just open for questions, but there's also one that will have actual limits and posting. Now, the situation is you'll be able to always read what goes on in these graded discussion posts, discussion boards after the fact, but the point in time that they will shut down at such that you won't be able to post on them. Your first post is always due on Saturday. Follow the instructions specifically in the discussion instructions. They will tell you what to do for your first post. It'll tell you on the second post. It may give you sources. It may ask you questions. In either case, you need to answer in full sentences. You need to be clear to everyone what you're answering and what your thinking is. That first one by Saturday and follow up by the following Tuesday. You will always need a second post follow up so that, and you should read the other posts that are made so that you can respond to them in your follow up. Those will be graded based on the quality of your answers and follow up, and making sure that you post by Saturday and by Tuesday, that sort of thing. It should be clear and readable in your writing. We're going to do some tax returns. Practice in actual tax software. The Tax Act software is free and provided with your textbook. You access that through the Connect system, and you'll download the software, put it on your computer, utilize it. There could be some issues if you use a Mac for that, the TaxAct software that's provided is for a PC. Let me know if there is no way that you can figure out to have access to a PC for at least the time that we need to use for these tax returns, and we'll see what we can come up with. Okay? It should not be done by hand or handwritten. It should be done using software. You're going to complete the work. There's instructions on how to do so. And once you've done that, you're going to save the tax return as a PDF and upload it into the Dropbox for grading. All right, that will happen. Those tax returns will be due the same weeks as the tests. We will have 3 tests. All right, all of them will be take home. They will not be timed in the traditional sense that they will not have. They will be problem oriented. They will be not multiple choice or true false or anything like that. They will be working out scenarios. You'll put your answers into the document and then submit it back into the Dropbox. You'll have as much time during the week that you want to spend on it. I'll give you at least a week to have it available. You can go back and forth to it as many times as you want. Just make sure you save your work. That's how your points will work based on what we've just talked about as far as the grading and your grade criteria. Please plan on being logging in multiple times a week and make sure that you complete all of the assignments. Otherwise, you may be looked at as absent. And if you miss too much of class, I may be forced to drop you from the class as we reach certain deadlines. Right? If you want to withdraw, that can be done up to the 70% point. All of the information is at the link there. Please maintain your integrity, succeed through your own hard work. Please ask if you're wondering if things are considered cheating or dishonest as far as collaborating and working together, because we're going to encourage in the discussion boards answering one another and helping one another. But tests are not to be worked on together. They are not to be helped with or to come up with your answers on your own. And if that doesn't happen, then there will need to be a discussion and perhaps disciplinary action taken. If you have any difficulty and need help with access to class based on a disability, we have a whole wonderful group of folks that are dedicated to helping with that. All the information is there at the end of the syllabus, including links to those individuals' emails and that sort of thing. All right, let's go back. To our first week. That is not the introduction. Every week will follow basically the same format. There will be an introductory information of learning outcomes we are working on. There will be something to chuckle at, okay? And then there will be our reading explanation submodule with a PowerPoint slides reviewing the reading from the textbook. The formal review with actual questions through the Connect system. A link to that. Then my explanation, podcasts, videos that I've created. Then there'll be a discussion submodule with the discussion that is graded and the one that's just for questions. And then in the homework submodule, there'll be the Dropbox with the instructions on the homework. And once you've turned in that homework, you'll be able to see the answer to that homework review, as we mentioned, so are you to make corrections. That's the layout for each week so that you can get used to it. You'll know where to find everything and feel very comfortable. All right. So good luck. Thanks for joining class. We're glad to have you and look forward to getting to know you and working with you throughout the rest of this semester.